The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Today, we embark on a journey through the neurobiological and evolutionary basis of human behavior. What drives us, from our earliest instincts to our most complex ethical decisions? This exploration bridges science and philosophy, inviting us to reflect on how our origins shape not only who we are, but how we choose to act in the world. Fernando Pessoa once reflected, "There comes a time when we must mend, reform, and rekindle what once brought us joy, even as it grows worn with age. We shouldn't abandon old paths simply because they're familiar. Instead, we can use them as stepping stones toward new horizons. To cross over, we must dare. Otherwise, we risk remaining on the margins." These words remind us that progress often begins with courage and reflection. Our first objective is simple yet profound: to take those initial steps in understanding human behavior. What motivates us? Why do we act as we do? Beyond this, we'll reflect on morality and ethics, especially as they relate to professionals in the health sciences. By exploring these foundational questions, we lay the groundwork for deeper inquiry into what shapes our actions and our values. What is life? This timeless question sits at the root of all scientific and philosophical exploration. The tree before us, half lush with leaves, half barren, mirrors life's dualities: vitality and decay, growth and mortality. Its roots entwined with a skeleton remind us that life and death are inseparable, each giving meaning to the other. Understanding this connection is essential as we trace the evolution of human behavior. The dimensions of life reach far beyond mere survival. Here, the Vitruvian man anchors a universe teeming with creativity, emotion, intellect, and connection. Galaxies swirl above, artistic tools beckon at the side, while social bonds intertwine around us. Even the heart grows roots, reminding us that our existence is rooted in biology but flourishes through art, society, and cosmic wonder. Human experience is truly multidimensional. What exactly are morality and ethics? These questions have challenged thinkers for centuries, and it's natural to feel a sense of doubt when we confront them. The image of a contemplative man, surrounded by swirling question marks and faces, perfectly captures the uncertainty that arises when we try to define what is right and what is wrong. This doubt, or duvida, is not a weakness but a vital part of our intellectual journey. By questioning, we open ourselves to deeper understanding and growth. In the context of human behavior, wrestling with these concepts is essential for developing a thoughtful, ethical perspective that can adapt to new challenges. And in the beginning, life emerged from chaos, a primordial ocean struck by lightning, sparking molecules into motion. These ancient storms set the stage for biochemical evolution, where simple elements combined into the building blocks of life. It's awe-inspiring to realize that our own biological story traces back to such humble origins. Energy meeting matter in a dance that would ultimately lead to consciousness. In the beginning, survival at any cost. Imagine early life forms besieged by relentless threats, cells under attack by viruses or hostile forces. Their struggle was simple yet fierce: persist or perish. This primal drive for survival shaped not only their evolution, but also laid the groundwork for our own instinctual behaviors. It's from these ancient battles that our deepest impulses originate. After the initial struggle for survival, evolution's focus shifted to the perpetuation of the species. The vintage illustration of a microorganism with branching structures on aged paper reminds us that life's continuity depends on successful reproduction and adaptation. The phrase perpetuatio de especie highlights how every living organism, from the simplest cell to complex beings, is driven by the urge to pass on its genetic legacy. This process is not just about individual survival, but about ensuring the future of the lineage. Each adaptation, each branching form, represents nature's ongoing experiment to secure life's persistence across generations, shaping the diversity we see in the living world today. Survival and perpetuation. From dinosaurs roaming volatile prehistoric forests to sharks enduring across millennia, nature's story is one of adaptation and resilience. Volcanoes erupt, climates shift, Yet life finds a way, sometimes through sheer power, sometimes through cleverness or persistence. Each species adds a chapter to this grand narrative of endurance that eventually sets the stage for human morality to emerge. The concept and development of this exploration were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Our journey begins by examining the brain's architecture across the animal kingdom. Notice how the human brain, with its expansive forebrain and visual cortex, stands apart from those of the monkey, cat, goose, alligator, frog, and codfish. These color-coded regions reveal an evolutionary layering, each adaptation building complexity. This structural diversity lays the groundwork for understanding how instinct, emotion, and eventually morality emerge through neurobiological evolution. Let's look at some core traits of early brains. With extremely small size and no neocortex, these brains lack the machinery for complex emotions or learning beyond basic conditioning. Social behavior is nearly absent, and care for offspring is rare or non-existent. Interestingly, their sense of smell is highly developed. What does this tell us? At this stage, survival depends on instinctual responses rather than flexible thought, laying a primitive but vital foundation for all that follows. Instinct. What does this word truly mean for the story of human evolution? When we see the stark question instinto presented alone, it invites us to pause and reflect on the very foundation of behavior. Instinct is the silent force that has guided countless species for millions of years, shaping their actions without conscious thought. But is instinct enough to explain the complexity of human behavior? This moment of questioning marks a turning point in our journey, where we begin to explore how simple, automatic responses gradually gave way to learning, adaptation, and eventually, the emergence of ethical reasoning. The question of instinct is where the search for deeper understanding truly begins. Instinct can be seen as nature's blueprint, an innate predisposition to perform sequences of actions essential for survival. Fighting, mating, searching for food, building nests, escaping danger. Once triggered, these behaviors are unstoppable. They're linked to a rudimentary brain, lacking a neocortex, built mainly from brainstem, cerebellum, and a primitive limbic system. This hardwired programming ensures survival, but limits flexibility, marking the starting point for the evolution of more adaptive behaviors. But what happens when instinct alone cannot guarantee survival? Picture the catastrophic meteor shower that ended the age of dinosaurs. In moments of crisis, even the most powerful instincts can fail against overwhelming change. This extinction event set the stage for new forms of life and new strategies for adapting. Cataclysmic events in history often act as turning points, forcing evolution to innovate beyond instinct into more flexible, collaborative behaviors. After devastation comes opportunity. The first steps in collaboration began with small mammalian survivors, creatures adept at adapting and working together in new environments. Surrounded by ancient plant life and reminders of a vanished world, these early mammals pioneered cooperation as a means of survival. Their ability to share resources and communicate set them apart from their predecessors, hinting at a future where social bonds and mutual support would become evolutionary advantages. Meet Purgatorius, a tiny pioneer on evolution's grand stage. Perched quietly amid prehistoric foliage, this small mammal represents one of our earliest ancestors to explore new ecological niches after the dinosaurs' demise. Its agile movements and adaptability allowed it to thrive in complex environments. By venturing into the trees and diversifying its diet, Purgatorius helped lay the groundwork for the remarkable evolutionary journey toward primates, and eventually humans. Archicebus achilles, living some 55 million years ago, marks another leap forward. This early primate adapted to life among branches with grasping hands, keen vision, and a growing brain, traits that signaled a move toward greater social interaction and learning. Why does this matter? Because these evolutionary steps are not just about physical change. They're about laying the neural foundation for curiosity, cooperation, and eventually ethical reasoning. Sahelanthropus cadensis stands at a pivotal crossroads between ape and human. Upright posture hints at a shift not just in movement, but in cognitive potential. Set against an ancient landscape dotted with symbolic remnants like skulls and towering trees, Sahelanthropus marks humanity's earliest known steps toward self-awareness, a key ingredient in the emergence of moral judgment. Each evolutionary milestone brings us closer to understanding the roots of ethical behavior. Living in groups and developing facultative bipedalism, the ability to walk on two legs when needed, were revolutionary adaptations among early hominids. Fossil skulls reveal not just anatomical changes, but also hints of social cooperation and shared responsibilities. Group living fostered communication and empathy. Bipedalism freed hands for tool use and nurturing young. Together, these traits set the stage for the emergence of culture, and ultimately, the moral choices that define our humanity. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. To begin our journey, let's look at the roots of our lineage. Here, three primates, Sahelanthropus cadensis, Pan troglodytes, and Australopithecus afarensis, are elegantly mapped on an evolutionary tree. This branching diagram isn't just a family portrait. It's a story of divergence, adaptation, and the shared ancestry that underpins our behavior. How did these early forms shape what we'd eventually become? Imagine the vibrant world of our distant ancestors. Primates swinging through dense jungle canopies, an ape-like forebear gazing out with intelligent eyes, and an early hominid venturing upright into the vast savanna. These environments weren't just backdrops. They were powerful forces shaping how our ancestors moved, thought, and survived. What drove the leap from climbing trees to walking tall? Adaptation to changing landscapes sparked new behaviors and set the stage for human evolution. What does it take to break free from the comfort of what we know? The illustration of a man emerging from an egg, labeled ruptura, captures that pivotal moment when dissatisfaction with the status quo fuels transformation. As the Portuguese text describes, rupture is born from discomfort or even pain, but it becomes the driving force for innovation and growth. Without the courage to shatter old patterns, progress stalls. True advancement demands breaking the mold. Adaptation is evolution's response to necessity. Early hominids didn't choose to leave the trees for the savanna. Environmental pressures compelled them. This drastic shift led to upright walking, freed hands for carrying and creating tools, and fostered new forms of cooperation. Each evolutionary step, every tool shaped, every upright stride, was sculpted by survival's relentless demands. Our bodies and minds were forged in the fires of adaptation, setting humanity on its unique path. Ecological pressures shape every living thing. Storms bend trees until only the resilient survive, predators test the vigilance of prey, and resource scarcity forces ingenuity or extinction. Each panel here, storm, predator, barren land, reminds us that nature's challenges are relentless teachers. It's under this constant pressure that life adapts or perishes. In humanity's story, these same ecological forces have driven not only physical evolution, but also the emergence of social bonds and ethical instincts. A remarkable leap in our history came from hunting and consuming more protein-rich foods. This shift fueled the growth of our neocortex, the brain region central to higher thought and social complexity. Scientific illustrations show early hominids using tools, while a diagram links increased protein intake directly to neocortex expansion. Today's protein-rich foods echo this ancient innovation. By nourishing our brains, diet played a critical role in shaping intelligence and the capacity for morality. But sometimes, even as evolution propels us forward, there remains a lingering sense of longing or hesitation. The melancholic dog lost in thought reminds us, reflection is part of being human. Progress isn't just about adaptation, it's also about questioning what comes next. What more could we become? This introspective pause fuels creativity and ethical growth, inviting us to imagine new possibilities beyond mere survival. Hell is other people, wrote Sartre, a stark reminder that morality isn't forged in isolation. The contrast between the solitary portrait and the group captures a tension at the heart of human experience. Individual desires versus collective existence. Our ethical struggles often emerge in relationship with others. It's within these social webs that empathy, conflict, and cooperation arise, challenging us to transcend self-interest in pursuit of shared values. What makes a human brain unique? Comparing brains across species, from codfish to humans, reveals a dramatic expansion of the forebrain and visual cortex in primates, especially humans. Color-coded regions highlight how our neural architecture supports vision, reasoning, emotion, and complex behavior. This anatomical leap enabled us to form deeper social bonds and grapple with moral questions, laying the neurological foundation for ethics itself. Protomoral. Our innate drive to cooperate isn't accidental. It evolved as a survival strategy. Groups working together always fared better than individuals alone. This predisposition links to the neocortex and rudimentary prefrontal cortex, where precursor neurons would later become mirror neurons, the very cells that let us empathize with others. Rooted in biology yet flowering into culture, proto-morality is where science meets philosophy on humanity's ethical journey. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Let's begin our journey at the roots of social behavior. Even from the earliest stages of life, we see the seeds of solidarity, cooperation, hierarchy, empathy, and gratitude beginning to sprout. Yet, these protomoral qualities, so vital for group living, are often overshadowed by the raw power of instinct. Why do our best intentions sometimes lose out to primal drives? This tension sets the stage for humanity's ongoing moral evolution. Imagine a winter forest where wolves hunt a powerful bison, a vivid reminder of nature's harsh rules. In these moments, instinct reigns supreme. Survival, aggression, and pack dynamics drive every move. But look deeper. Beneath the chaos lies a primitive form of cooperation and hierarchy. The wolves' teamwork hints at early social bonds. Isn't it fascinating how even the most brutal scenes reveal the building blocks of morality's origins in the animal world? Now, picture a family gently cradling a lion cub by the fireside. A scene full of warmth and trust. But as that cub grows into a fierce adult, the atmosphere shifts to fear and uncertainty. These contrasting moments, captured in both illustration and real-life photos, ask us to reflect. Can nurture overcome nature? The delicate balance between affection and danger illustrates how human morality constantly negotiates with our deeper instincts. What makes us feel empathy or excitement? At the heart of adaptation and evolution are our neurotransmitters and hormones: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, adrenaline, and more. These chemicals shape our responses to the world, fueling joy, bonding, stress, or aggression. They form the biological foundation for our most basic behaviors and emotional connections, essential for survival and for laying the groundwork of ethical decision-making. Testosterone, often called the primal hormone, fuels competitiveness, anger, and the drive for dominance. Picture two prehistoric men clashing over a fallen deer. Their confrontation echoes through time as we see competition on racetracks, flashes of anger in faces, and the struggle for hierarchy in every society. These ancient forces still shape our social order today, reminding us that morality is forged not just in reason, but in our very biology. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Let's begin our journey with oxytocin, the so-called hormone of connection. Imagine a mother cradling her child, surrounded by timeless symbols of love, solidarity, gratitude, and empathy. These are more than emotions. They're ancient biological forces, shaping how humans bond and care for each other. From affectionate embraces to acts of kindness, oxytocin weaves the social fabric that underpins our moral instincts and deepens our shared humanity. Dopamine drives us forward, rewarding discovery, achievement, and the joy of overcoming obstacles. Picture a prehistoric ancestor kneeling beside a fruit bush, dopamine surging with every successful find. Alongside this, gratitude blossoms even in small moments, a woman savoring a flower's scent. Social hierarchies emerge as groups organize for survival. These neurochemical rewards have guided not just individual behavior, but the evolution of societies, revealing how motivation and social structure intertwine in the story of humanity. Gathered around ancient fires, early humans found safety and belonging, serotonin reinforcing trust, happiness, and stable social hierarchies. Imagine the warmth of community. Hands clasped in trust, people dancing in celebration, and hierarchies forming to maintain order. Serotonin doesn't just regulate mood. It cements the bonds essential for cooperation and harmony. Through these chemical signals, our ancestors forged alliances that shaped not only their survival, but also the ethical foundations of society. Confronted by danger, early humans relied on adrenaline and cortisol, the primal surge behind fight or flight. Visualize a tense standoff between human and saber-toothed tiger. Anxiety and fear sharpen the senses, while hierarchy and survival instincts dictate action. These stress responses weren't just about escaping predators. They molded group dynamics and individual resilience. By facing threats together or alone, our ancestors evolved strategies that still echo in modern anxieties and social structures. Endorphins offer relief and restoration, balancing the tension between pursuit and rest. One moment, a hunter sprints across the savannah in an adrenaline-fueled chase. The next, tranquility washes over a figure resting beneath a tree. This cycle of exertion and recovery is fundamental to well-being. Endorphins not only mask pain but also reward perseverance and encourage moments of peace, reminding us that both action and rest are essential chapters in the human story. Epigenetics reveals our destiny isn't written solely in inherited genes. Like a director guiding a play, epigenetics decides which genetic scenes take center stage, amplifying some traits while silencing others in response to life's environment. Consider the domestic pig turning wild. Its transformation is orchestrated not by new genes, but by how existing genes are expressed. This dynamic interplay between nature and nurture continues to shape the unfolding drama of human behavior. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamos, MD. Let's begin our exploration with the fascinating world of epigenetics. Imagine animals raised for generations in captivity, surrounded by abundance, free from predators. Their genes favor docility, leading to less aggression and more body fat. But once released into the wild, survival demands activate genes for agility, aggression, and social cooperation. Their bodies transform, becoming leaner, stronger, and more alert, all shaped by the environment's invisible hand. Isn't it remarkable that wild and domestic pigs share the same genome? The real difference lies in how their genes are switched on or off by their surroundings. Epigenetic marks, like DNA methylation and histone modifications, act as molecular switches, responding dynamically to life's challenges. This shows us that evolution isn't just about passing down genes through the ages, but also about immediate, reversible adaptations that shape not only one lifetime but echo through generations to come. Picture this vintage illustration. On one side, a pig rests within a safe enclosure, docile and well-fed. On the other, a wild boar navigates the unpredictable forest, alert and resilient. These two lives are shaped not by genetics alone, but by their experiences, captivity or freedom. Epigenetics captures this contrast beautifully, showing how our environment sculpts who we become, both inside and out. Let's travel back in time to meet Homo habilis, the handyman. Crouched among scattered stones, this early human ancestor shaped the first tools from raw rock. What drove this leap in behavior? It wasn't just instinct, it was curiosity and necessity working together. With each chipped stone, Homo habilis set the stage for human creativity, an evolutionary step beyond mere survival. Now, gather around the fire with Homo erectus. Here, community and collaboration take center stage. Notice the prominent stone axe, a symbol of innovation and shared effort. Fire not only offered warmth but transformed how our ancestors ate, gathered, and protected each other. This scene marks a turning point. From surviving alone to thriving together, guided by emerging social bonds. Let's pause to consider Homo heidelbergensis, a remarkable chapter in our evolutionary story. In this vintage illustration, we see a group of early humans, each gripping a spear, encircling a fallen animal. This isn't just a scene of survival, it's a testament to the emergence of strategy, planning, and cooperation. Why is this significant? Because it marks a shift from instinctual, individual action to collective effort and foresight. These early humans didn't simply react to their environment. They anticipated challenges, organized hunts, and worked together to secure their future. Such behaviors laid the essential groundwork for the complex social structures and ethical codes that would later define humanity. Inside the shelter of a cave, the Neanderthals gather around a flickering fire, their faces illuminated by its warm glow. One figure, focused and skilled, shapes stone tools, while others, including a child, sit close, sharing in the moment. This scene is more than a snapshot of survival. It's a window into the birth of culture and empathy. Here, knowledge is passed from one generation to the next, skills are honed, and bonds are strengthened. The presence of a child reminds us that teaching and learning are as ancient as humanity itself. These moments of connection and shared experience are the seeds from which our sense of morality and community would eventually grow. Imagine Homo naledi, 335,000 years ago, venturing deep into the darkness of a cave, torches held high to light their way. What compelled these early humans to explore such mysterious and dangerous places? Was it curiosity, ritual, or perhaps the beginnings of spiritual belief? This vintage illustration captures a pivotal moment. The use of fire not just for survival, but for exploration and possibly ceremony. The act of entering the unknown, guided by flickering torchlight, hints at minds capable of abstract thought and symbolic reasoning. These journeys into the depths mark a crucial step toward the development of art, language, and the moral imagination that would shape our species. Let's delve into the remarkable Rising Star Cave System, a true crossroads of science and history. This hand-drawn map, with its labeled passages and skeletons, invites us to trace the footsteps of ancient explorers and modern scientists alike. Detailed excavation diagrams reveal the painstaking work required to uncover the secrets of our ancestors, while the photograph of a caver squeezing through a narrow passage highlights the physical challenges of such research. This multidisciplinary approach, combining archaeology, biology, and geology, unlocks stories buried for millennia. Each discovery within these winding tunnels brings us closer to understanding how early humans lived, adapted, and ultimately contributed to the unfolding narrative of human morality and culture. Finally, we arrive at Homo sapiens, the modern human. This profile sketch reflects not only anatomical precision, but also the culmination of millions of years of adaptation. Our journey from instinct to ethics is written into every line of our faces. Today's morality is born from this remarkable odyssey, shaped by neurobiology, culture, and our unending quest to understand ourselves and each other. The concept and development of this journey were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Our story begins with the great dispersion of humanity across continents. Imagine early humans migrating from Africa, their paths branching out like arrows on an ancient map, each route shaping new cultures and societies. These migrations weren't just about survival. They marked the dawn of adaptation, connection, and the very first stirrings of social behavior that would one day evolve into complex systems of morality. Picture a moment around an ancient campfire, 3 early humans sharing food, warmth, and stories. Why is this scene so significant? Because here, in simple acts of cooperation and communal living, we see the roots of empathy and group survival. These early gatherings weren't just about eating. They laid the groundwork for trust, teaching, and the first unwritten codes that guided our ancestors' behavior long before formal rules or ethics existed. Inside prehistoric caves, humans painted animals, crafted tools, and sewed hides, acts that reveal much more than survival. These creative expressions signaled a leap in cognitive ability. Why did early humans paint mammoths on walls? Perhaps to communicate, to teach, or to connect with something greater than themselves. This blend of art, craftsmanship, and shared rituals marks the emergence of culture, a crucial step toward building values and ethical thought. Examining the skulls of Homo sapiens sapiens from multiple angles reminds us Our anatomy shaped our destiny. The expanded cranium and refined features supported a larger brain, particularly the neocortex, the seat of reasoning and complex thought. This evolutionary advantage enabled us to move beyond pure instinct. It's here that the biological foundations for morality began to take root, allowing humans to reflect, plan, and choose between right and wrong. Now, imagine a lone astronaut floating above Earth, our species venturing far beyond ancestral lands. This image captures more than technological achievement. It reflects humanity's capacity to transcend boundaries through curiosity and cooperation. From ancient migration to space exploration, each leap forward is built on knowledge, ethical reflection, and a shared sense of purpose. What drives us to explore? A fundamental urge not only to survive but to understand ourselves and our place in the universe. With the evolution of the neocortex and richer neural connections to our limbic system, humans gain new powers. We could cooperate more deeply within groups and even override raw instinct. This is where morality begins. As our decision-making abilities grew, so did the range of our behaviors, from virtuous actions to moral lapses. The development of the neocortex empowered us to inhibit impulses, choose collective good, and set the stage for ethical complexity. Moral. What does it truly mean? Morality is rooted in values, but these values shift with time and place. What's considered right today may have been wrong centuries ago. Morality is shaped collectively by society and always walks a fine line between right and wrong. A dichotomy that reflects our ongoing struggle to define what is just. It's a living practice, changing as we evolve together. Valores. What are values? This single, minimalist question sits at the heart of our exploration into human morality. When we pause to consider what values truly are, we're invited to reflect on the invisible forces that guide our decisions, shape our communities, and define our sense of right and wrong. Values are not just abstract ideas. They are the foundation upon which societies build their collective identity. They influence everything from our daily interactions to the grand ethical dilemmas we face as a species. By asking ourselves what values mean, we open the door to understanding how morality evolves and why it matters. Values are the unwritten rules a society accepts, norms shaped by culture and environment. They are judgments built on ideas of good, right or wrong, evolving alongside history itself. For example, gratitude, fidelity, courage, perseverance. These are not static but shift with each generation. Values act as a moral compass, helping communities define what is honorable in their own time and place. Morality is fundamentally dichotomous, always drawing a clear line between what is considered right and what is deemed wrong. This structure is reinforced by how societies respond to our actions. Moral behaviors are encouraged through rewards and incentives, while deviant actions are discouraged by the application of punishments. Such a system not only maintains social order, but also shapes our personal development, teaching us the consequences of our choices. Yet, this dichotomy can be both empowering and restrictive, as it evolves with cultural shifts and historical changes. Understanding this balance is essential to grasping the true nature of moral systems. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Let's begin our journey into the architecture of the human mind. This vintage illustration, inspired by Paul MacLean's work, reveals the triune brain, from the ancient reptilian complex to the emotion-driven limbic system, and finally the neocortex, seat of reason and reflection. Each layer tells a story of instincts inherited, emotions experienced, and rational thought emerging. Why did evolution favor this complexity? It's here that our behavioral origins unfold. Imagine the brain as a symphony of three voices: instinct, emotion, and reason. The reptilian core drives survival, fight or flight. The limbic system colors our world with feelings, joy, fear, love. And the neocortex? That's where reason and abstract thought take center stage. This colorful diagram distills Paul MacLean's triune brain theory, visually mapping how evolution layered new functions atop the old. How do these regions interact to shape every choice we make? Have you ever wondered why watching someone act can make you feel as if you're doing it yourself? This is the magic of mirror neurons. When one person reaches for an apple, another's brain lights up as if they're reaching too, whether in action or observation. These neurons bridge self and other, laying the groundwork for empathy and social learning. Could these tiny cells be the foundation for understanding, and even morality, in human behavior? Comparing human and chimpanzee brains side by side unveils a remarkable evolutionary leap. Notice how the human brain's folds are deeper and more complex, especially in areas tied to reasoning and planning. This isn't just anatomy, it's a clue to our cognitive and moral development. What sets us apart from our closest relatives? Perhaps it's the expanded neocortex, enabling language, foresight, and ethical reflection. Our biology is both a record of our past and a map to our ethical potential. Consider the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, a literary exploration of duality within human nature. Dr. Jekyll embodies rationality and restraint. Mr. Hyde unleashes primal urges. Why do such opposing forces exist within us? Literature mirrors neuroscience. The struggle between our higher reasoning and darker impulses is rooted in brain architecture itself. This timeless tale invites us to reflect on the fragile boundary between morality and instinct, a central theme in both science and philosophy. Phineas Gage's story is legendary in neuroscience, a man transformed by a single accident. Before he was responsible, after a rod passed through his frontal lobe, his personality changed dramatically. What does this reveal about the brain's role in shaping behavior? The damage to his frontal regions disrupted impulse control and social judgment, showing that morality is not just taught but wired into our neural circuits. One moment rewrote his life and changed science forever. Here we see Phineas Gage himself, his portrait alongside haunting images of his injured skull and the infamous tamping iron. The physical evidence tells a powerful story. Injury to the frontal lobe can radically alter personality, revealing how closely identity is tied to neurobiology. This case bridges anatomy, history, and ethics, reminding us that even subtle shifts in brain structure can change our capacity for empathy, self-control, and moral judgment. Psychopathy stands as an exception, a personification of amoral behavior rooted not in ignorance, but in an innate inability to feel the emotional weight of right and wrong. Imagine experiencing love or guilt only as distant concepts, like watching a foreign play without grasping its meaning. Nature and nurture conspire here. Psychopathy is not just learned but emerges from a complex interplay between genetics and environment, blurring the lines between fate and free will. What lies beneath psychopathy? A genetically distinct brain architecture where communication between the prefrontal cortex, our center for planning, and the limbic system, the seat of emotion, is impaired. Mirror neurons remain silent. Empathy does not catch. Genetics may load the gun, but trauma or neglect can pull the trigger, producing a social predator who views others as mere pieces on a chessboard. Tools to be manipulated rather than fellow beings to be understood. Psychopathy reveals itself through striking traits: lack of empathy or remorse, poor anger control, egocentrism, impulsivity, even knowing what's right but never feeling it. Affecting at least 2% of people, more often men. It stems from both constitution and environment. Impaired mirror neuron activity, disrupted neocortex limbic communication, and hormonal imbalances all play roles. These neurological roots remind us that morality is not just taught but deeply embedded in our biology. The concept and development behind this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. We begin our exploration with a paradox. What does it mean to be both accountable and amoral? These questions frame our journey into the evolution of human behavior, where scientific inquiry meets philosophy to reveal how instincts have shaped, and sometimes conflicted with, our moral decisions. Imagine the bustling life within ancient Mesopotamia. City walls enclosing thriving markets, farmers tending fields, and a lone scribe etching stories into clay tablets. Here, the earliest societies emerged, building order from chaos through shared rituals, trade, and record-keeping. But what drove these communities to cooperate or compete? The seeds of morality and law began here, rooted in the daily choices and survival instincts of individuals striving for stability and meaning. Picture a moment of confrontation. A woman commands attention, a man kneels before her, and a crowd waits in tense anticipation under a watchful sun. This dramatic scene captures the timeless struggle between individual conscience and collective judgment. Why do societies rally behind leaders or demand justice? Through history, ethical dilemmas have ignited debate, reminding us that our sense of right and wrong is shaped as much by social context as by personal conviction. From reptile to big cat, to chimpanzee and finally Homo sapiens, our brains reveal a stunning story of evolution. Each step marks an increase in complexity, with new folds and regions emerging to support memory, emotion, and social behavior. What distinguishes us from our ancestors? It's the ever-expanding capacity for empathy and foresight, qualities that underpin not just survival but the very foundation of ethics and morality. At the heart of this evolutionary journey lies the paleomammalian brain, the limbic system. Structures like the cingulate gyrus, hypothalamus, amygdala, and hippocampus orchestrate our emotions and memories. Imagine these ancient circuits sparking fear, love, or loyalty long before we could reason about them. By understanding the architecture of our own minds, we see how biology set the stage for the emergence of ethical thought, where instinct meets reflection. The concept and development of this lecture were created by Professor Delamas, MD. Our journey begins with the human brain, a marvel that underpins the evolution of our behavior. Here, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex and mirror neurons, key parts of the neomammalian complex, play a crucial role. These regions are not just anatomical labels, they represent our capacity for empathy, decision-making, and social connection, foundations on which morality and ethics are built. What is ethics? It's the critical and methodical reflection on how humans relate to their surroundings, nature, society, habits, and even self-care. Ethics is more than a set of rules. It's a universal, timeless exploration of our actions, unbound by dogma or social convention. The goal? To discover principles that foster well-being for all, embracing nuance and reflection as we navigate the complexities of human life. Ethics isn't just philosophical, it's rooted in our biology. Unlike basic moral instincts, ethics relies heavily on the neocortex, the brain's hub for complex thought. This allows us to analyze situations in detail, abstract ideas, project possibilities, reason deeply, and learn from experience. Isn't it fascinating how our cognitive evolution has enabled us to move beyond instinct toward thoughtful ethical decision-making? When we encounter the question principios, or principles, we're invited to pause and truly consider what lies at the heart of ethical thinking. This single word, posed as a question, challenges us to reflect on the foundational values that guide our actions and decisions. What are the principles that remain constant, regardless of culture or era? How do these core ideas shape our sense of right and wrong, and influence the way we interact with others? By asking about principles, we open the door to a deeper exploration of the universal truths that underpin morality, inviting both personal reflection and collective dialogue. Principles, as described here, are universal assumptions, truths so fundamental that they are recognized across all cultures and societies. They are not subject to debate when viewed through the lens of thoughtful reflection. Examples include non-maleficence, beneficence, autonomy, justice, love, happiness, freedom, and peace. These are not just abstract ideals, they are the pillars that support ethical systems worldwide. By embracing such principles, we create a foundation for both personal well-being and collective harmony. They serve as a compass, guiding our choices and helping us navigate the complexities of human life with integrity and compassion. If you're inspired to continue this journey or wish to connect for further discussion, Professor Delamas welcomes your engagement. You can reach out via email at ailmos@unerp.br or follow on Instagram at @docdelemos. Academic exploration thrives on dialogue and shared curiosity, so don't hesitate to ask questions or share your perspectives. Whether you're a student, a fellow academic, or simply someone fascinated by the evolution of human behavior and ethics, your participation enriches this ongoing conversation. Let's keep unraveling the mysteries of morality and human nature together, building a community grounded in inquiry and thoughtful reflection.